Clans of Midgard from Gray Fox Games. Here's your design team. Let's look at the sides. We'll just get that right to the back. 30 to 45 minutes, 14 up, 2 to 4 players. There's your design team again, this time with artist. There is your contents. Clans of Midgard is a draft, write, and fight game in which players play as leaders of Viking clans seeking to gain glory, conquer territory, fight monsters, sail the seas in your Drekker. Drakar. Collect powerful runes and honor your warriors who have passed on to Valhalla. There we go. So, let's see what's inside. Alright, we'll get this open, and as always, stick around after this and I'll show you how it plays. And to do that, we'll be using this instruction booklet that I'm about to show you. I will say we do have the deluxe version, so there are going to be a couple of differences in the components, as you'll see. So here's the whole thing, your components. So here they have a game board, we have a playmat. Here they have cubes. You'll see we have screen printed meeples. Here's your game setup, how to play, more how to play, resolving the rune cards, 2-player rules, monsters, glory, tracker. I'm going to go with tracker. Battle for territory, end of game, and what you all score. Alright, so in this box, here is that playmat that I was speaking of. So your game board should look similar, just not a playmat. Let's see if I can get this laid out flat. So this is the 4 to 5 player side. You have these different areas that have different numbers on them that trigger the battles. Here's your monsters that you're fighting, and then here is the clan priority track, and then here is the 2 to 3 player side, and so forth. So I'll be rolling this the other way to try and get rid of this bend. Let's just kind of shove that down there. See, already getting better. Alrighty, in the box we have a Valkyrie die. So you have a 1 side, you have a 2 side, and you have a nil side. You have 4 pencils. You have these screen printed meeples I told you about. So as I said, in the base game, you'll have a board, and these will actually be cubes, but instead we have all these cool looking Viking meeples. We have 2 pads of paper, double-sided. This is what you're writing on. And then we have cards. So the other thing that this game came with, being the Kickstarter Deluxe version, is a promo pack of more gods. So you have 1 and 2. You're going to be using 2 of each, if I remember correctly. So these are the promos. You can see the little symbol up top. So let me show you these really quick in case you are intrigued and getting the promo. You may still be able to find it on their web store once they get all this up there. So now we'll go with the base gods. Odin, Thor, Freya, Baldur, Njord, Loki, Frigg, Heimdall, Vor, and Idun. And now you have this whole deck of cards. Again, I will go over to how to play to show you how these all work. This is just going to give you a quick idea of what the cards look like. So there we go. That is it. That is all of what's in Clans of Midgard. Let's get to that teach. Alright, I'm set up for a 2-player game of Clans of Midgard. Why is it a 3rd color, you ask? I will answer that when we get to the gameplay. So each player will get the warriors of their color. I'll be playing against blue. Here's my green. Each player will get a sheet. I'm just showing my sheet. Every player will get a pencil. You're going to place the map with the correct side. So this shows 3. So this is for a 2 or 3 player game. You're going to separate the god cards by age. Shuffle them up. Take 2 god cards, put them on the bottom. 2 god cards for level 1, put them on top to create a deck of 4 god cards. You're going to shuffle a deck of rune cards, place it near the game board, and then we are ready to begin. Alright, first thing you're going to do is you are going to reveal the god card and look at it. So, Njord, at game end, Njord is worth 2 victory points plus 1 victory point for each Drakar, Dracker row you have fully marked. After you reveal the God card and everyone is sufficient in what they do, you are then going to deal 8 cards to each player. Alright, at this point I will make mention of what this yellow player is. This is Helga. This is a dummy player. You're going to deal them 8 cards as well. They are not going to participate in the drafting or anything else. These are just going to be used to put their pieces out on the board. So, now that everyone has been dealt 8 cards, you're going to look at your cards. You're going to choose one that you're going to want to take, and then pass the cards on. Let me go over some of these cards really quick. So up here, you'll see your offerings to the gods. The number here is just for priority. It's not 2 offerings, it is just still 1 offering. This letter is going to correspond to what you're going to cross off in the letter spot. This is glory that you'll be adding up to possibly put in your glory track. This is the clan you support, and then where they are going to be deploying it, and then this is your Drackers. Let's see, and then the one other symbol is its Valkyrie symbol, which we'll get into when we talk about putting stuff out on the board. So you're going to look at your hands. You also see monsters here. I didn't see those initially. Monsters, you're going to want pairs. So you're going to look at your hand. You're going to choose a card. Pass it over to the next player. The next player is going to choose a card. We'll just say this one. And pass their hand over this way. You're going to go back and forth until each player has drafted all the cards. After everyone has drafted 8 cards, you're going to be laying your cards out on the table. So now you are going to resolve, each person at the same time is going to resolve each part of their card in a set thing. First we are going to look at offerings. So right now I have 2 offerings. They have 1. They only have 1 offering, so I get the God card. If they also had 2 offerings, we each add up the sum of those cards. Whoever has the highest sum would get the God card. If it's still tied, it's whoever has the highest single number gets the God card. So that is the point of the numbers. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to look at clans and territories. So first thing is your offerings. Now you come down here to clans and territories. First, you are going to determine the clan you have supported the most. So you're going to look at the symbols. So I have 2 hogs, I have 2 serpents, I have 2 wolves, I have 1 raven. So now of the ones that I have 2 of, I'm going to look at the priority track, and that is going to then determine which one of these cards which one of these clans I'm going to support. So if we look, the ravens first, well that wasn't one of the 2. Then we go to the serpent. So now we look at the serpent cards. So we are going to put 1 of my warriors in green and 2 of my warriors in blue. So if we look over here, they have supported the wolves the most. So we will grab these cards. The wolves are going to put 2 in blue, 1 in purple, 1 in green. Then at this point, we are going to trigger Helga, and we are going to do the same thing for her. So then Helga's going to put 1 in red, 1 in green, and 1 in blue. And then you can set Helga's cards aside because she does nothing else with her cards. So now that you've done the offerings and you've triggered your clans, you're then going to start back up here. Any letters up here, you're going to cross off on your sheet. I am then going to look at these monster symbols. I am going to see if I have any pairs. If I have any pairs, I am going to defeat the monsters, and the points I get are right up here. So we have 2 of these, that's 2. We have 3 of these, but you can only ever kill 1 monster, so we get the 3. So that'd be 2 and 3. So up here under slain, we are going to write 5. Next, you're going to add up any glory you got here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In the first round, you're just going to write the number down here. Next round, I need to have greater than 6. If I do not have greater than 6, I'm going to write a 0. Next thing you're going to look at is your Drackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can now use those to cross off my ships down here. If I get next to a deployment symbol, I am going to deploy there. This you are going to do secret. You're going to just kind of cover it up and cross it off. And then if you get a deployment, you kind of just put one of your guys there, because you and your opponent are doing it at the same time, so you don't want to necessarily let them know what you're doing. You're then going to look at Valkyries. So right now, my opponent has a blue Valkyrie and a yellow Valkyrie. If these areas are going to be contested, which I'm about to get into, then they will be rolling the Valkyrie die. If they are not, they will mark it off on their sheet for end of game scoring. So, if we look at the map, when you consider battle for territory, you are going to resolve it in yellow, green, blue, red, purple. In order for a battle to be triggered, the number has to be met. So we need at least 3 in here. We do not. 4 in here. We do not. 4 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We do. So they roll the Valkyrie die. That is a symbol like that. So in that instance, they will just cross off the Valkyrie on their board. Had they rolled a 1, they would have put one of their warriors in there. You are then going to compare who has the greatest battle strength. It's based on number of Vikings. So I have 4, they have 3, they have 1. I win. So I put mine up in that spot right up there. They would take their 3 workers back and start crossing off Valhalla. Start going from top to bottom, left to right, so they cross off 1, 2, and 3. Seeing as I am victorious, I will take mine. We are in the blue, so I will cross off my blue, which will give me endgame points. Once we check each territory, whoever has figures up here will take them back, and you will score 1 point for each warrior. So this would give me 4 points. I would put that right down into here as 4. If this was the 4th round, we would proceed to scoring. Otherwise, what we do is we take all of the rune cards, even these ones that were set aside, we shuffle them up, and then we would start a new round, flipping over a new god card, rinsing and repeating again until the 4th round. After 4 rounds, you are going to total up your score. Starting at the top, you're going to total up any runes scores. You're going to get these by fulfilling rows or columns. Once you do, you would circle them. You'd add those all up. That goes here. You total up your slain. That goes there. You total up your glory here. You're going to total up your territories. And then for however many different ones of these you have crossed off, you'll get a certain amount of points. 1 for 1, 3 for 2, 6 for 3, 10 for 4, 15 for 5. You'll add that to up here, and that goes there. Valhalla, you're going to total up however many of these you have circled, and then based on how many Valkyries you have crossed off, you'll total all that up, and that will go right here. So that would be 1 for 1, 2 for 2, 3 for 3, 5 for 4, and 7 for all 5. You then, down here, will score any points for gods, such as Njord was going to be worth 2 plus 1, so right now he'd be worth 4 for me. Total all that up, and highest score is victorious. If there's a tie, whoever has the fewest horns crossed off in Valhalla wins. If still tied, then the shared players share victory. That is how you play Clans of Midgard. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.